All right, Susan, Mediterranean food tour here. Where are we going first?
Okay, well, first we need to make our meatballs.
Okay.
So we've got our lean ground pork, and we've already sautéed some garlic and onion. So we're going to use half the recipe for the meatballs. The other half will stay in the sauté pan for the stew.
Right, because this is the Spanish Pork Meatball Stew. So kind of the two recipes you want. I love that.
And then we're going to add a lightly beaten egg, which always goes into meatballs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some breadcrumbs.
Also.
Traditional, right?
Same. Yeah.
We've got some salt and pepper as well. And then a whole lot of parsley.
Right? So is this kind of an integral part of like Spanish cooking?
Yeah, I think Mediterranean cooking in general, like lots of fresh herbs, right?
Yeah.
So then
fragrant.
We're going to mix this all together. Takes a little bit. And you know, one of the great things that I love about lean ground pork is it's versatile and economical, and you know, it's a great source of high quality protein.
Yes, all important things.
That's good. And because it's lean, it's lower in calories too, so that's a good thing.
Check, check, and check.
Check, check, and check,
Yeah.
yes. And the other good thing is that because of its mild taste, it will pretty much absorb any kind of flavor that you add to it.
Goes with anything and everything, yeah.
So the only thing you want to make sure of is that we don't overmix too much. You want to just mix it so that the flavors are combined or the seasonings are combined. Otherwise, your meatballs will end up being a little bit on the tougher side.
A little chewy.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when I make my meatballs, I like to use a cookie scoop.
I think that we use cookie scoops for everything except cookies on the show. Honestly. So
this is a 2-inch scoop. So I just dig right in there, press it right against the bowl, fill that up, and then take that out. And what you end up with is a nice 1.5-inch
kind of perfectly formed. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, these look great.
Okay, and so we'll just add that to our baking sheet. Notice that we've added some parchment paper there. That's just to make sure that the meatballs don't burn.
Yeah.
And it's also easier cleanup.
I don't cook anything with a parchment paper now. It's like everything's got parchment paper. So, wanted to quickly mention, of course, Countryside Farm Vita Eggs. Always happy to feature local ingredients here on the show. And so about how long are we cooking these meatballs, and for how long?
So these would go into the oven at 375
I'm
Fahrenheit.
Put them in right now.
Yeah, and you'd bake them for about 12 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
Turn them and then put them in the oven for about another 8 to 10.
Okay.
You want to check with a meat thermometer just to make sure that they're thoroughly cooked. It's ground meat, so take them out at 160 Fahrenheit is what the internal temperature should be.
Because they're going to be cooking up in the stew a little bit as well, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. So we've got our pan with the reserved onion and garlic, and now we're going to make our stew.
Yeah, this is great. So you get the meatballs, you can just eat the meatballs, and you can just eat the stew, but this is you're putting it all together, and this is lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. I can help you out a little bit with this.
So we're gonna add our carrots. So as I said before, lots of veggies. And we've got chickpeas, which are very common in Mediterranean cuisine.
Right.
And then we have our diced tomatoes. Put all those in.
Beautiful. And of course, you know what? We love when you try these recipes at home and tell us how it went for you.
And then for seasoning, or actually chicken broth too, can't forget that. Pour all that in. And then for seasoning, we've got some paprika and some turmeric.
Okay.
So the turmeric is going to give it a nice bright color, and paprika, of course, Spanish cuisine.
Gotta have that. And I love turmeric. I love the way it tastes, but I almost like the way it makes the recipe look even more, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm going to grab, because we do have some of those meatballs cooking, so I'm going to bring those out.
Sounds good.
Oh, wait. There we
so
go.
this stew would just, you'd bring it to a bit of a boil, and then let it simmer for about 15 minutes because it's going to cook down. And then after that, we can add our cooked meatballs. So we'll just let this do its thing.
And this one, you said you used the word nestle before, and I love that.
Nestle them in.
Nestle them in. Okay. And how, like, it doesn't matter how close together they are?
No, not at all. Just
Okay.
put them right in there. And like you said, they're going to cook a little bit more in that delicious sauce as well.
Yeah. Oh, and it smells just, I mean, incredible.
Right.
So good.
And then after that, we just put the lid on and let that cook for about another 10 minutes just to make sure everything's good and hot.
One more.
And yeah, there you go.
Tra-la, look at that. How beautiful. Thank you so much. Recipe number 1. Recipe number 2, pork niçoise
salad.
salad when we come back on Great Tastes of Manitoba.
You're watching Great Tastes of Manitoba. Manitoba Agriculture and Resource Development's Food and Farm Awareness Week is a great opportunity to talk to a farmer about where your food comes from. For more info, go to greattastesmb.ca.